Roadside Rob and crew.
We got a Dodge Ram 1500 of the 2001 variety. Yeah, 11 of 2000. Custom mistakes, overheating, and coolant leaking. So we ordered a bunch of parts and threw them all over the place. Yeah, so we ordered a water pump after we identified it was leaking out the weep hole. This kit came with water pump pulley,
Ram 1500 water pump,
hardware, fasteners, gasket, and new fan clutch. So we didn't have the tool handy for removing the fan clutch from the water pump pulley. So I just stuck a couple bolts in the holes. Wifetron was holding the pry bar, the bolts on an angle. Put a croissant wrench on the nut, gave her a tapper, and she spun right off. Look at all that room you gain once that shroud and fan's out of there. Incredible. This is the V6 3.9 liter Magnum engine. And this pulley's seen some better days. This pump. See if we can see that pulley moving. Oh yeah. Might not be able to see it on camera, but it's definitely wiggling pretty good. Once you get the fan off, you can pull the fan out with the shroud. Try not to let it fall into the radiator. Don't want to damage the radiator, that's for sure. If you're worried about it, put a thin piece of board or anything you can to protect between the two. Windshield washer reservoir has to come out. Coolant res has to come out. Upper rad hose comes off. And then continue the job. Next, remove your bolt, or your bolt. Remove your bolt. That's a pretty funny looking bolt. It's of the rubber variety. Pretty floppy bolt. Might want to return that one. Remove your bolt. And, wow, look at this. No wonder she's a leaker. Oh yeah, it's only water, it's not coolant dripping out, but it's dripping as we're wiggling here, so definitely bad bearing, bad seal, bad pulley on this pump, water pump. Obviously there's bolts around the pump. Then we've got this hose here to disconnect. We've got this hose here to disconnect, and the lower rad hose here. And we'll get right back with you. Taking this heater hose off now. You got to remove the hose clamp, obviously. Slide that up out of the way. If it's stubborn, you can get under there with a screwdriver or a hose pick carefully without damaging the rubber hose. Or, you know, just grab a hold with some pliers. Lightly, give it a twist. Keep working it till it moves. Get a little bit of a pulling action while you're going. And you can wiggle it right up off of there. Set that to the side for later. Now we've got a hose here at the top, back of the water pump. Got to get that off. and this guy down here at the bottom. Now, I don't think this is factory, but one of the water pump bolts, it was still a 15. It was still a 15, like the rest. No, it was a 14. So all the bolts are 14 around the housing. Some are different lengths. So if you have threads at the beginning of the hole, it's a short bolt. If it's smooth, then it's a long bolt. But anyway, this one kind of was hidden behind the pulley, the angle of it, so you couldn't really get a socket on without trying to start rounding it out. So we threw a Torx in there. It was a T50. Where's the impact? What's on the impact there? T50?
It's a T50.
Wife-a-Tron had a T50 on the 1/2-inch impact. And we zipped her right out. Just beware, there may be a T50 in there. Now you should use thread sealer, in my opinion, on all these bolts. This was the configuration here. We had the 2 short ones at the bottom, on each side at the bottom. Then on each side of the bracket for the heater hose, we had these 2 bolts, then another shorty. That was that T50, and then that goes right there. And then we had 2 more long bolts on the opposing side there. Now this hole definitely had some fluid coming out of it. I would make sure you thread seal that bolt for sure. I would thread seal all of them, but that's where we're at. And oh, we got one more bolt here for the bracket, so we'll zing that out. She should come free, and then we gotta take that hose off the top. Give her a couple love taps just to free it up if she's stuck. And then you should just have that one hose up top. You can pinch the hose clamp and wiggle the pump off of the hose like so. Or you might have to get a pick in there and work the hose. Really had to work that hose around to get it to separate. Started off with a thin tip flathead. Can't really see it, but a thin tip flathead. Carefully. We got picks, but this is what we had handy. Then I switched to a thicker flathead and kind of used it as a pry bar. And we got separation here without damaging the hose. So now our water pump should come right off. There she is. There's our hose. And this is what it looks like. And it'll be basically reverse order to put it back on. We gotta clean all this gasket material off the block here and install the new one. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you have a good time and everything goes easy on your project that you're working on, and we appreciate you watching. Roadside Rob and Wife-a-Tron out. There's the old one. Bye, Felicia. Got him.